Good morning, Christy and Jimbo here from Crimbo's Chronicles. We are in the UP camping in Hancock, Michigan, and it is a rainy, windy, coldy day. So we're going to explore Delaware Mine. I'm not sure why it's called Delaware Mine, but we're going to go find that out. There are a ton of mines up here. Copper mines, I do believe, all of them. I'm pretty sure they were all copper mines. There are so many though. So we found one with a self-guided tour. Ooh, looks packed. And we are going to explore it.
So here's what we have here to tell you about though before we start the video and start your tour. This is a piece of float copper. This is a pretty good specimen, 2,145 pounds of pure copper. It's called float copper because it was sliced off by the glaciers when they came through here 10,000 plus years ago and pushed around on the surface of the earth, hence the term float. You can see the scratch marks in it from it having hit things that didn't want to move as the glacial ice pushed it along. The biggest piece ever found up here was the size of a 20-passenger school bus. That was over 20 years ago. They got cut in half and sent to China for an undisclosed amount of money.
We passed one on the road too.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Yes, up at Calumet, there's a nice display of float copper. A. Seaman Mineral Museum has one undercover up there.
Oh, okay.
So they're still finding these. I mean, the glacier was busy. It pushed stuff from Canada and here all the way down through Michigan into northern Ohio, through Wisconsin into Indiana, all through Minnesota. So everywhere the glacier went, you can find pieces of float copper. They tend to be smaller like the ones we have in our gift shop that get that far south. But they're still finding these here. So last 2 summers ago, some high school kids in Houghton found one that weighed in at 1,100 pounds. Trouble is on a neighbor's property, you just can't put 1,100 pounds in your pocket when you're walking. So they had to negotiate that. Also, some contractors found one last summer, prepping the site for construction, one that weighed in at 9,885 pounds.
Here we go. Got our hard hats on. Delaware Copper Mine. Okay, here we go. Water dripping. Okay. There's someone. Okay, there's someone in there. I just got creeped out. Ooh. Yikes. It's raining, it's raining. Raining, raining, raining. So these timbers on your right are the original skipway of 1982. The skip was the car used to transport mined rock up the shaft. It was pulled by a cable. Yep. I don't want to hold them up. Okay, good. They're not right behind us. Oh, did you hit your head? Oh, goodness. This is mine shaft 1. Oh, and there they left it wide open so you can see, although you can't see. So these rails carry the tram car used to carry rock from the working area to the shaft where it was dumped into the skip car. As the miners sunk the shaft, they drifted off in exploration. Is this wetness? Oh, wow, it is. It is so cold right now. 43 degrees down here all the time. They even have a picnic area. Look, you can have your lunch here. You don't need to tell me not to enter. I won't. Oh, it's spooky. You can't see it, but it's spooky. Just a tunnel. You can't even shine a light to make it visible. Okay, so that was the first, I forget what the word was, first level? All right. Yeah. Oh, it's really muddy. Okay, this is a tram car. You can't see it at all. That carried ore to the shaft. These were pushed by the men, the shaft, and dumped into the skip to take the ore to the surface. So I guess when it rains upstairs, it rains downstairs. Okay, so there's a sign to the left here first. Early days of this mine saw no convenience like this power drill that you can't see. Here consisted of a 3-man team. One man held the drill while the other 2 pounded it with 12-pound sledgehammers. Holes were drilled 6 to 8 feet deep and put into the shape of the tunnel to be blasted. Chargers went off on Saturday night, and Sunday was clear the air day. Wages ranged from 14 to 21 cents per hour. The pipe you are following along the floor is compressed air line that carried air to power the machinery. Oh, wow, I got bigger. This large area is called a stope. Here is where a vein of copper was mined. The Delaware mine gave us around 8 million pounds of copper. The yield was 98.5% rock. It's a lot of work, especially for 14 to 21 cents a day. An hour, sorry. Not much better. My eyes are watering. I think it's because I'm cold. Oh, there's a hole. I'm kind of creeped out. Just a little scary. Hello. That was me. This opening is a miner's crawl hole used to move equipment between levels. If not flooded, you would be looking down 100 feet to level 2. But there's water right there. You can't see it because it is so clear and so still, but I can see things floating.
Wow.
That's awesome. And in that video we watched, which is copyrighted and we probably can't show it, it did say that there are divers that went and explored that part of the mine, and there's a YouTube video on it, on the Delaware Mine Underground or something like that. I forget what it was called, but if you look up Delaware Mine, I'm sure there's the water right there. I'm sure you would see the video. Okay. It's hard to see where I'm walking. This is the Stoutenburg fissure, or adit, named for the mining captain who found a copper outcropping in the side of the hill. An adit is a tunnel into the mine which reached the surface. Mining was done on this outcropping, creating this tunnel, and continued for 600 feet below here in the 1860s. Here is where the two, whoa, cold breeze, where's that coming from? 2 tunnels of miners drifting east from shaft 1 and west from shaft 2 met. Amazing state of the art for 1870. So I guess this is where one tunnel met the other tunnel. It is cold and creepy. Cold and creepy. The high spot in the ceiling that you can't see is called a raise. This straight up drilling was needed periodically to check how close the greenstone was and to stay in line with the conglomerate layer. Why do I hear something?
Water.
Water? Oh, I am creeped out. Why is there water running? You know, I'm the first to die. I'm in the front. 'Cause that's the way it goes. First person dies. Is there a waterfall in here? Whew. So cold. The closer we get to whatever it is. You are now in a small stope. Stoping was done up toward the surface to allow gravity to drop rock into the tram. All slopes in this mine are a 24-degree angle. To follow the 24-degree angle of conglomerate. Oh. The large pipe going down the shaft is the main compressed air line to power all the drills and machinery underground. Oh, there's so much water flowing. Oh, that is creepy looking. Imagine all these the miners back in the day did this in very little light.
Read that sign.
Oh, I didn't read the sign. Note the darkened timbers and rock are a fire of unknown origin burned the timbers and caused some rock to fall. Yikes. There's a bench to rest. Oh, I can feel like it gets colder. Again, you are in a stope. The size of each stope depend on the amount of copper found as well as structural safety. The far wall is about 60 feet from the surface. A good, safe thickness. Oh, you can't see it. God, it feels so illegal. Like, we shouldn't be this far in. Oh, I see stuff and it scared me. Everything scares me. The fencing scares me. It's just uneasy. And the water. That is water. That's just, they can't see it. It would have been cool if they could see this. Oh, I am creeped out. Nope. I feel like we're gone too far.
There's the
Oh. Fucking scared me. Oh, stop. Oh, I'm gonna pee myself. Oh, I don't feel good. Well, I don't like anything in that room. Oh, okay. I can't wait to turn around and go back. There's some green. Okay, the last sign. Oh, I see light. Thank you for touring the mine that gave the world copper in its purest state. When back upstairs, feel free to ask any questions. We made it. Stairs. So much fun. Okay. Yeah. The crowds are starting to develop. So now we're on the outside tour that you can see. Hopefully Jimbo can use some part of that video. It was pretty interesting. So there's some ruins. Immediately, let's see what they say. Pump house circa 1870s. originally used as the pump and hoist house, this building housed a steam engine that operated a series of rods and levers, which ran the pump, located 700 feet down the Stottenberg shaft, which we did see underneath. The pump ran periodically as water accumulated. It could be run as little as once per week or several times a week, depending on the season and rainfall. Another steam engine in this building operated the hoisting mechanism for lifting the ore cars up the shaft. When mining began in the conglomerate rock, this hoisting engine was no longer adequate. The building remained in use, but only as a pump house. Oh, wow. So I imagine there's a shaft there, and that's all the pile of stuff that has been filled in to clog the hole up.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Oh, wow. What is that? Let me see. Hoist house, you are here. Used to lift ore cars up the shaft. Hoisting mechanisms are generally located adjacent to the shaft being used. When the former hoist engine was no longer adequate, a new building, seen here, was erected. It was decided that in order to save money, one hoist house could service two shafts. So this new hoist house was constructed between the number 1 and number 2 shafts. This building housed 2 steam-powered hoisting engines, and the cable had to run on supports in either direction to the shafts. There is no record of any other mine doing this, making the Delaware a unique project. Oh yeah. It's so weird with the trees growing in there. Well, I guess this is the end. Can we get any better view inside? Yes. Yes, we can. Oh, cool. So this is the final portion of the self-guided tour at Delaware Mine. Please do not enter grounds until admission. Okay, well, we paid it. This is the prehistoric mining site. So this is where they had found prehistoric tools. So prehistoric mining pit. The trench before you represents the remains of a prehistoric copper mine. One of thousands found in the area, this mining pit could be 5,000 years old or more. A fire was used to heat the copper-bearing rock. Then cold water was poured on the rock to crack it, breaking it away from the copper. Stone hammers, such as those displayed in the gift shop, were used to break the copper into smaller pieces and to form it into implements. It is estimated that the prehistoric miners removed between 500 million and 1.5 billion pounds of pure copper from this region. Many of the modern copper mines began at the ancient sites, since very little of the total amount of copper was removed by the prehistoric miners. Because Michigan native copper is the purest on the planet, I didn't know that, this area produced 2/3 of the entire world's copper from the mid-1800s until well into the 20th century. Let me get into a better position to see this crevice here. So they found a bunch of tools here. Let's go back. In the summer of 2023, MTU graduate students, faculty, and friends excavated this feature to retrieve organic material and date the works by the carbon dating method. An extension of the south downslope end, this trench is what remains of the 1840s European exploratory pit dug on top of earlier indigenous work. So that was really cool. Learned a few things. I've never been in a mine before, never been scared to death in a mine before, but I was today. Irrationally scared, as usual. That's me. But it was fun indeed. Jimbo, did you have a good time?
Yes, I did.
Good. Tell him bye, babe.
Bye, baby.
Jimbo found us another lighthouse, but this one is on private property. It's called the Mendota Lighthouse, established in 1870, constructed in 1895. The tower head height is 44 feet. Fourth order Fresnel lens with the S in the word. Fixed white flash every 20 seconds. Deactivated in 1956. Reactivated in 1998 at 9:45 p.m. Yeah, it does have the old Fresnel lens. And there it is across the water. We can't get to it any closer because, like I said, private property. And then the guy who owned the property, Jimbo just told me, he passed away and then somebody else bought the property. So this is as close as we're getting to this Michigan lighthouse. Pretty neat. Jimbo and his damn scenic routes. Oh, there's a bathroom. He found us a damn waterfall he didn't know was going to be here. This is Haven Waterfall. So random. We made it to Gay, Michigan. I just thought it was funny that they have this sign here, the $500 reward for the arrest and conviction of anyone defacing, removing, damaging, or littering. Oh, I thought maybe it was for the sign. So yeah, we're in Gay. They have a bar here. It's called the Gay Bar. It's not a gay bar, like per se, but it is in the city of Gay, and it's a bar. Pretty funny. We pulled over for this gigantic stamp mill that I am not going to be able to capture in one shot. Look at this. I don't exactly know what a stamp mill is, so I'm going to come over here and read this sign. Okay, in the past, Gay was once the home to Mohawk and Wolverine stamp mills. Ore delivered by rail was processed here. Copper was removed, and the remaining stamp sands were deposited on Lake Superior's shore. 22.7 million metric tons of stamp sand were deposited between the existing Mohawk Mill smokestack and the shore of Lake Superior. The environmental impact. Today, only 3.1 million metric tons remain where placed. The rest eroded into our lake or down the shore. Slowly, the sands blanketed Buffalo Reef, an important spawning ground for whitefish and lake trout. This has been disastrous. In 2019, Green Sands Inc., Keweenaw Bay Indian Community, the Environmental Protection Agency, EGLE, and Army Corps of Engineers relocated 175,000 cubic yards of sand from the shoreline further inland on the deposit. This exposed historic resource for documentation and left behind a lower, gently sloped shoreline that lessens the possibility of erosion into the lake. Currently, alternatives are being considered about how to permanently solve the problem of Gay's eroding stamp sands. These include complete removal and/or the construction of revetments to hold the sand in place. Jimbo was waving me on after I was reading the street sign there, telling me to come back here. Ugh. Oh, wow. I can't believe how tall this thing is.
Yeah.
It's huge. I thought he saw what was on the beach, but apparently not.
Well, yeah,
Oh. I mean, I'm tempted to look up in there.
it just goes.
I just don't want this whole thing to fall on me. Well. Oh, and you can see the sand is a different color down there because of the bad stuff this place did. Now, I guess he didn't see what was on the beach. It's in the sign, but we're not walking down there because it looks like it's a big drop off.
Black, right?
Yeah, the sand, but there's something on the shore, wooden structure. Michigan has got some really interesting things, especially up here in the UP. Didn't know what a stamp mill was until today. Don't know that I needed to know, but now I know. Do they even use stamp mills anymore? I don't know. But that's the gay stamp mill. Site of the Mohawk stamp mill, actually, from 1900 to 1932. So, see the stamp mill in the background. We found the gay bar. It's right here. The gay bar in Gay, Michigan. Okay, this one's going to be a hard one to shoot. We've stumbled across a working lighthouse. It must be on private property because we have tried to get on it. We're at a Dollar General parking lot here, and we can see the light going. Let's see if I can look at it long enough. No idea what the name of this lighthouse is, but it's one of the 129 in the state of Michigan, or it's 130. Who knows? There's the light. Cool.